I am going to talk about a few ways in which we can use this stage in our lives as women of a certain age to increase our net visibility. Now that the weight of the male gaze is less upon us, welcome, my dearly unbehaved. So in my last video, I talked about why women over 50 feel invisible. And most of those reasons have nothing to do with appearance at all. Sure, men are biologically drawn to fertile youth. And I am biologically drawn to a box of Krispy Kreme donuts. But I avoid the entire box, at least the entire box. I might have one, but I avoid the entire box because it won't give me what I want in the long run. And in fact, it will probably hurt me. And I personally want to attract people in my life who are capable of making intentional decisions. People with some level of self-control. So I'm not really all that interested in being visible to people who are impulsive slaves to their biology and who make it their excuse for the choices that they make. It's a kind of weaponized incompetence in my mind. I don't want that either. I don't want to attract any of that. In the same way that a fast food place wouldn't dim the lights of the restaurant and put candles at every table in order to attract slow dining. Pretty much become the company that you keep. So this is a really good reason to aim your visibility at the right people and not worry about all the others who might be oblivious to you. Because they're just distractions anyway. You just get them out of the way. This is kind of a sequel video to the last video I did. So if you haven't watched that video, you might want to watch that first and then come back to this video. But make sure to come back to this video because at the very end, me. I think of as we, like we as a community, but I'm going to be doing it. I am going to be announcing the winner of the giveaway. And that giveaway winner is going to be receiving one of my husband's wood-turned heirloom ornaments that are absolutely stunning. And I'll show you. Here's an example. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? He's actually going to have to turn another ornament because he sold all the ornaments he's made so far, just gone for hundreds of dollars each. So they're worth money. So stay tuned to the end to see if you're the winner. And I will also leave a link in the description box to his account so you can see all the beautiful things that it's not all the beautiful things that he's doing. We just started the account. But you can see a few of the things that he's been working on. Our woodshop antics, because I show up in the videos sometimes. I just want to have a little disclaimer. I'm not bashing on all men. It's a very specific thing. So you need to watch the other video to really understand. But I'm not bashing on all men. I love my husband. I have so many wonderful men in my life. And I'm constantly inspired by the things that men do as well as the things that women do. So I don't want you to think that I'm just bashing on the guys. The male gaze is more of a kind of a systemic sociological thing. I think a lot of guys have it to some degree, but okay, you get my point. So part of that not giving a duck's feeling that comes with age is a result of the diminishing male gaze. I just feel less observed, less in competition with other women, because we're not competing for that gaze anymore. And we just feel freer to be who we are. We also become more purpose driven because we see the bigger picture. We know our gifts and have developed skills. We're more confident. We know what we're willing to do and what we're not willing to do. And we have a pretty good idea of what matters to us in the big picture. And we also have a better idea of the length of life. We know that tomorrow is not promised and time is of the essence, so we don't waste time on BS. So I'm going to give you a couple of ways to increase your, I say net visibility as you get older, but it's really just visibility. I say net because I'm just like your total visibility, but it's just visibility. You'll understand what I mean by that in the first thing. So the first thing is stop calling yourself invisible. Do not call yourself invisible, because as women, we see each other. We're half the population and we see each other. When another woman sees you, she makes you visible. So you're not invisible. We cannot be invisible if we see each other. And claiming to be invisible while you are being seen by women invalidates the importance of our gaze. In other words, it rejects the female gaze, and it is a form of internalized misogyny. Think about that. Just let that soak in. Not only do we need to be seeing each other, we need to make a deliberate effort to validate the women who see us. And one of the ways to do that is by not calling ourselves invisible. Another thing that we need to do is we need to see other women. Let's see each other through thick and thin. And I mean that literally and figuratively. Support and see the beautiful qualities of women that are not being validated by the male gaze. But also choose to see the nuance and humanity of women whose beauty is validated by the male gaze. Does that make sense? A long time ago, I posted on Instagram that I wanted to see fitness influencers that weren't like totally ripped and snatched. I wanted to see like fit people, because they did fitness a lot, so they were fit, who might not be like, model thin. Some people are naturally thin, but some people really have to like be on a really restrictive diet in order to maintain that look. And when I say restrictive, I mean like 1,000 calories a day, but they're not revealing that. So it kind of makes me mad. It's a little bit of a gaslighting type of thing. And it triggers me as someone who's dealt with an eating disorder before. Yeah. I wanted a fitness coach who just looked like they didn't look like they were trying, like who just, who was fit, but not like so snatched, because I didn't want to have it. I didn't want to feel like I'm going to be like her someday. I'm going to be like her someday. I just wanted to get fit because I wanted to be fit, for my grandson and for, not to be a burden on my husband and, so that I can enjoy life and wander through the forest. I didn't want a specific look attached to that fitness. And so I didn't want to follow a fitness instructor or a fitness coach who was very much appealing to, some standard. Nobody complied with the request. They all sent me some snatched up person, and I know that there are fitness coaches out there who are more body neutral, but they're hard to find. And ironically, the one group, I can't remember their name, but they're on YouTube. It's a cool, if I can find it, I'll link it down below. But it's a cool like reggaeton kind of class that has a diversity of bodies. But, ironically, but not so ironically, because it's not really ironic, what they were doing was a little too challenging for me. So I wanted something, that I could move into like slowly. And I needed I needed a fitness coach who wasn't going to trigger, my issues with eating. That's all I wanted, but nobody came through. Like, I got like 20 responses and nobody came through. So we need to start seeing the value in, fitness coaches who aren't starving themselves. I'm just saying, holding them to that standard. We have to stop doing that, because you can be fit and fat or not even that fat, Okay, so that's why I like show up in my, in sometimes like on Instagram or whatever, wearing just like a bodysuit. People need to see that. People need to see someone who's not necessarily plus size, but also not snatch, like something in between, like something that represents most of us, right? The thing is to not just see other women, but listen to women with an open mind, without second guessing or interrupting them. I mean, we should be doing that with anybody, I guess. We should be doing that with everybody. A woman might be vulnerable. She might say, like, like for me, I always feel guilty when I go for a walk without my dogs. And if I see something like that, maybe in social media, there's always going to be someone who's going to lecture me on the problem with having guilt. I mean, it's that kind of thing. That's the thing. They'll judge my guilt. They'll judge my guilt. I was like being vulnerable, and then they just judge my guilt. And what it does is it makes me not want to share my story, because suddenly I'm being judged. Like someone's kind of like using it to like say, haha, I'm better than you. I don't have guilt, but you've got guilt, and you need to do something with that. Why couldn't she just say, oh, she's got guilt, and just let it be? Just let it be part of my experience, part of my story. So I guess what I'm saying is that we can, just let women be who they are. Like, let's not try to necessarily improve them based off of our own beliefs and standards and whatever. Just let them be what they are. Just let them be. Just let us be. So another thing that I think we can do, what will help us increase our visibility, is to collaborate with other women. So, fun fact, do you know why zebras have stripes? They kind of pop in the savannah, right? It seems like that would make them more visible to lions, right? However, when they get together, when they collaborate, their stripes come together in confusing patterns that make it difficult for a predator to pick out single zebras. Like, they just look like a huge, undifferentiated, frightening mass to the lion. It's very visible and very scary, so the lion doesn't bother. And we too can increase our visibility, power, and protection just by collaborating with other women. Instead of competing, we collaborate, and that makes us bigger. That makes us individually bigger. We can synergize and activate our power. So support and collaborate with women who are doing the same thing as you, and support women who are doing different things. Merge strengths, cancel out weaknesses, make better use of time. And let's choose to see each other in a more nuanced way. Let's choose to trust each other's voices, visions, and ventures. And when we do that for each other, we do that for ourselves. You see how that works? I found that the best way for me to see the beauty in me and to develop self-love is to see the beauty in other women. I mean, I do have kind of a spiritual precedence for that, because I do believe that there is that of God in everyone. Another thing that we can do, and that is perform to the female gaze. Instead of performing to the male gaze, perform to the female gaze. That would be our own gaze. I like to say that I dress to impress my inner child. You can also dress for each other. I know they always say women dress for each other, and that's true. Like, I think we do. I mean, let's just own that. Let's just lean into that. The male gaze seems to like things to be pretty orderly, constrained, binary, hierarchical, and defined. Good girls dress this way and bad girls dress that way. And they impose these arbitrary rules on themselves too. Like, most guys are just pretty much victims of the same patriarchy that we are. And sometimes it seems that some of these rules are they're just random. Like, they're designed just to reward conformity, or like people who don't ask questions. There is a reason why fashion for men has not changed that much in the last 100 years. They're just wearing pants and shirts and socks. And that's how they've been doing it for at least 100 years. We wear all kinds of things, but they just wear pants, shirts, and like always socks. But I say duck the rules. And let's destroy this ultra binary way of seeing things, which is also, in my opinion, the source of much of the evil in this world. Now, hear me out. Just hear me out, okay? Just like listen with an open mind, please. It's this binary way of seeing things that creates the us versus them narrative. It's either us or them. It's like, we're good, then they must be bad. Everything is either black or white, good or evil, whore or virgin. Let's take that whole perspective away from them. Little by little, let's just take it away. But because that whole binary thing is just dangerous. I'm not talking about third political parties or LGBTQ+. I'm talking about the whole concept of there only being two ways of seeing things. Because the minute that we are introduced to a third point of view, the narrative just opens up. Nuance emerges. We see multitudes. No longer do people have to conform to this category or that category, because now there is a third category where nuance can thrive. Having a third perspective just makes all the difference in the world, because you no longer get pushed into one. It's no longer us versus them. I don't know if I'm explaining myself, but I do think that if we start dressing in a way that it doesn't align with the whore virgin, good or bad, or whatever, and we start dressing in a way that represents our being, who we are, without any kind of value judgment, if we just dress for the way that we want to feel or that aligns with who we are, like if we perform to each other's gaze, then we validate each other, we expand the rules, and we allow for self-expression. We make self-expression okay again. And this will trickle over to the guys too. Like, the more that we express ourselves, the more the guys will too. I think a lot of women are really into style and fashion because it's fun. It's such a creative, outlet, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's a beautiful thing. It's a great way to interject creativity in our lives, to live a creative life, to live a magical life. Like, I like to dress up and wear makeup and stuff because I like living a magical life. I try to make my life as, magical and romantic as possible without putting a lot of work into it, because I don't know. The winner of the giveaway, who will be receiving a beautiful Christmas ornament, is of the Veil Tarot 111. So I will be getting in touch with you. I'm not exactly sure how, but I will be, and I'll put a link. I'll tag you down in the description box, and I don't know. I'll find you. I'll get a hold of you. I think you have a channel, so I'm gonna comment on your channel. I will find you. I will find you. Ta-da! That's it. That's it for today's video. Thank you again for joining me. And remember to be true, be brave, and always be unbehaved.
I'm just a girl, a wonderful girl. miles around, and no one like me can be found. I've got a smile, I wonder if I smile in a certain little way. Every time the boys get near me, they look at me and say, red hot